Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Friday. It is September 9th. Hope you're doing well. Going to get started with the before market close video update. I wanted to make sure I got an update out here today. I'll be going on vacation. I might do one more on Monday, but after that, it's probably going to be about a week before I get back into the before market close live streams, market updates, and ticket requests. But we are seeing some bullish momentum that I've been expecting. And if you've been following along for the last several days, I said that I was expecting a pretty big move on SPY. I didn't actually pull the trigger on my mutual funds. I wasn't really paying too much attention to the market over the last couple of days, so I didn't want to get involved into a trade. But it would have been a nice opportunity there with SPY going down all the way to about 388. And we hit a high of the day today at 407.32. And what I said was I didn't expect, we had the EMA 12 and 26 bear cross on the S&P 500, and that occurred back here on August 31st roughly. And I said I didn't expect the bottom to be in until Tesla saw its daily bear cross. And then if you look, it happened on September 2nd. And that's exactly what happened. Once we had Tesla's bear cross, then we saw the final local bottom being set. And then SPY went into 3 days of daily bounce as well. So if you look at Tesla and the S&P 500, the chart's pretty similar. And the reason for that is because of the heavy weighting of Tesla in the S&P 500, and we know that tech and crypto have been leading this bull market. So just like we were looking at a potential bottom on Bitcoin, I'll bring up the Bitcoin chart here real quick. It was a similar move. The bear cross happened way back on August 20th, right? So we were looking for SPY to see its bear cross, and then we needed Tesla, right? We needed tech, and Tesla is one of the leaders in the tech space, right? So we were looking for all of that confluence. And we got it. Bitcoin dominance dropped below 39%, confirming the monthly descending triangle. And the oversold daily bounce is underway at the moment. So you can see here we broke to the downside and we didn't see much follow through. We could even, bounce all the way up to about 43%. We could just go sideways here for a couple of months. But like I said, ETH merge coming next week. We have NFTs coming to the XRP ledger. We have a lot of speculation that we could see a settlement between Ripple and the SEC. Flare networks due to launch any week as well. So all the stars are aligning for the bottom being set and a pretty massive rally coming. And the dollar also looking for some weakness on the dollar. But you can see here the daily oversold bounce is getting underway on Bitcoin dominance in a big way, meaning that Bitcoin is regaining some strength in comparison to other altcoins. And that's just to be expected, right? We hadn't consolidated in 11 days, right? So we finally broke the lower high every single candle for 11 days in a row. And then again, the more aggressive and the more drawn out we get to the downside, the bigger the expansion, right? The greater the suppression, the greater the expansion. So exactly what happened. We had no resistance until 40.74%. Look where we hit, 40.49%. So wouldn't be surprised if we started to top out a bit here and then maybe form a daily inside bar into tomorrow. But at the moment, most names are in 15-minute uptrends. Actually, I take that back. So Bitcoin is in a 15-minute uptrend, but Ethereum, you can see here, lower highs and lower lows. So we still have to confirm a 15-minute uptrend. XRP, nice bounce here. Got some room here, but XLM still in a 15-minute uptrend, so one of our stronger names as well. But again, this was to be expected. And if we take a look at the weekly time frame on Bitcoin dominance, we still haven't even started the weekly bounce. So we need to break 40.74% to start the weekly bounce. And we have no resistance essentially all the way up to 48.45. So don't be surprised if we even see a bit more upside from here. We could easily go back and test the EMAs there around 42%. But essentially, this was to be expected, right? When we have no weekly resistance and no daily resistance, again, the greater the suppression, the greater the expansion. And at the moment, we're still in a weekly downtrend. We're still in a daily downtrend as well. We haven't even broken daily resistance yet. So it's still bearish for the moment. I'm still bullish on altcoins. Let's just take a look at the altcoin season index. It was at 96, the highest I've seen it probably in a long time. Yeah, it's still sitting at 96. So it's looking good. Could see some more continuation here once Bitcoin tops out temporarily on the daily time frame. If we take a look at the 4-hour, we have no support and we're overbought, right? So wouldn't be surprised if we pull back in the next 4 to 8 hours where we come down, form a higher low, and then we potentially change the 4-hour trend. We still haven't even changed the 4-hour trend yet. So I'm a bit skeptical. I don't think that Bitcoin's really going to outperform for a very long time. I think it's just an oversold bounce, giving back some of that weakness and catching up to the rest of the market. SPY bouncing today as well in a big way. I said watch for a pretty big bounce in SPY. Futures were up last night about 0.5%. Or I think it might have been even close to 1% at one point, and we had no resistance until 419.96. So even from here, we could go another 3% before we hit resistance. But we still haven't changed the daily trend on SPY. So this move all came off the low. So when we do top out here, we're going to look for a higher low and a higher high. We need that daily trend to change so that we can be confident that the weekly higher low is set. We knew that we were just looking for a weekly higher low, and as long as 371 holds, the weekly uptrend remains intact. So no major red flags. We are starting the weekly bounce now, having broken resistance at 405.84. Now the next resistance is 431.73 on the weekly time frame. We do have EMA 26 there at 410.16. So we'll be watching 410, then 420, then 431. And look at that perfect hold of this support trend line, that white line here. We dip below it briefly, but ultimately we are set to close above it with only 23 minutes left in the day. That was a nice entry there off that support trend line. And this is why technical analysis is so absolutely amazing, right? People who say it doesn't work just have no clue how to use the tools that are given to them. Look at that daily bear flag. I've been calling for this for multiple weeks. I said, watch 18,500. It's pretty much baked in my opinion. We didn't even get to the 0.32 fib there on the retracement. We barely even got above the 0.236. So anything below the 0.32 there at 22,447 was a potential daily bear flag. We didn't even get above the 0.236, right? So it was a weak bounce. And then once we lost support there at 20,760, that confirmed it. And look where the measured move was. It hit to the penny, right? So if anybody tells you that technical analysis doesn't work, just block them, delete them on Twitter or whatever it is. If it's your friend, that's a little different story, but they clearly have no idea what they're talking about. How did I know that it was going to be 18,500? Look where we hit, 18,527. And I had this dotted line drawn weeks ago, right? So that's the beauty of technical analysis. It's not the end all be all, right? We can take fundamental analysis, we can take on-chain metrics, off-chain metrics, we can take technical analysis, all these different things. We can look at the tech sector, we can look at the broader market, we can look at all these different, commodities, all these sectors to get an accurate picture of what to expect. And like I said, the markets have been unbelievably predictable if you know what you're doing and if you know how to utilize technical analysis and macro analysis. But like I said, it's been very predictable, so now we need to kind of pump the brakes a little bit, because when things get predictable and things are happening in all the time in the way that we expect, we need to expect some uncertainty. We need to expect an unforeseen move, right? Either it's to the upside or the downside. Like I say all the time, markets can do one of three things. They can go up, down, or sideways, right? So as long as you're prepared for all scenarios, and if we can have an edge, that's what all technical analysis does, is it gives us an edge, right? It gives us the outcome probability of a certain outcome happening. So if we know that confluence, right? If multiple signs and indicators are saying that we're going up, right? If there's 4 or 5 different indicators saying that we could see more upside, well, you're going to have a bullish bias, right? You're going to have that more, you're going to lean more bullish. But if we have all this, hidden bearish RSI divergence, if we have, the dollar strong, obviously that's going to add to the bearish case, right? And again, as long as you're prepared for all scenarios. But the dollar pulling back on the daily time frame, we're still in a daily uptrend though, and we held EMA 26 here on this pullback perfectly. I'm not worried about the daily time frame. I'm not even so much worried about the weekly time frame. As long as we're still in a weekly uptrend, if we lose the weekly uptrend or confirm a weekly downtrend, that's going to increase the odds that monthly consolidation will be underway. And I've been saying this for many, many months now. We haven't consolidated since January on the dollar. And look where we are on the RSI. We're at 77. Anything over 70 is overbought. So that generally means expect a pretty big pullback. And just like the S&P 500 did, it didn't pull back in about 6 weeks, right? I'll just bring it up here real quick. Nothing goes in a straight line forever. We had no support to 371, so in 6 weeks we hadn't consolidated. Finally, on the 6th week, we can start its consolidation. So it'll be similar to DXY, only on the monthly time frame. So it's now 8 months in a row. So on the weekly time frame, SPY did 6 weeks. We're now going on 9 months in a row. So we're coming on almost a full year that the DXY hasn't pulled back on the monthly time frame. We did just briefly here last month. We lost support by 11 cents, but not enough of a pullback, right? So that was a little bit of a heads up that, maybe we're starting to see momentum shifting here. And look at this upper wick. We still got 21 days left in the month. Anything can happen, but I'm of the thinking that we could just tighten up this month. If we do see a massive pullback, like from the current levels, we'd have to pull back almost 4% to start monthly consolidation. Not impossible. I say it's about a 40% chance we do it this month, but maybe a 60% chance we do it next month. But as long as we're prepared, right? As long as we're expecting it. And again, we haven't done it in 9 months. So once we do start to consolidate, it's likely going to be a massive pullback. We could probably expect at least a pullback to EMA 12, maybe even as much as EMA 26. That would mean about a 6 to 9% pullback on the dollar. And what do we know about the relationship between the dollar and stocks and assets and risk on appetite? We know that when the dollar's pulling back, it's usually an inverse correlation. So the reason why stocks and crypto have been weak is because this has been strong for 9 months almost, right? So once we finally start to pull back in the monthly time frame, we can likely expect a massive, massive move on crypto and stocks. So the key level to watch, the line in the sand, is 104.63. If we lose 104.63 this month, we start monthly consolidation and we can expect a pretty massive bump and run up and rally in stocks and crypto. If we don't lose that by the end of this monthly candle, then we'll look what the low of this monthly candle is next month. So just keep it simple, right? You don't have to keep checking this every day, even every week. Just look at it, on the monthly time frame. If we don't lose that level, you could even set an alert, right? You could even just do a little trend line here, right click, add an alert. And as soon as that alert triggers, you'll be notified on your mobile, or if you get it installed in your mobile. That's what I would encourage you to do. And if we do lose that level, then expect massive upside for stocks and crypto. So oil pulling back 3 monthly consolidation candles in a row. This is good as well because it increases the odds that inflation could come down. When oil was super strong, inflation was super high, right? Because gas prices started to go up, everything at the pump, right? Oil prices, energy prices to heat your home. We're leading into the winter months as well. So this is good to see that this could encourage the Fed to start, kind of being a little bit more dovish and starting to ease on the aggressiveness with the interest rates, right? So we'll be continuing to watch U.S. oil. But that being said, we're still in a month. Actually, we confirmed a monthly downtrend here with a lower high and lower low. So we are in a monthly downtrend, but we have next support at 62.46. But EMA 26 did hold there. But I would expect a pretty big bounce at some point soon. We're still in a weekly downtrend as well, but we already had our weekly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross on the daily time frame. We didn't hit daily oversold yet, though. Maybe we need to go down and hit daily oversold first. We're still in a daily downtrend. So we're in a daily, weekly, monthly downtrend on oil. So oil is extremely weak, but that's good from an inflationary standpoint. Gold and silver confirming daily uptrends with the low, high, higher, low, and higher high. So again, precious metals showing some strength as well. Low, high, higher, low, and higher high. Silver's a bit more strong than gold comparatively. And that, again, shows more risk on, right? When silver is stronger than gold, usually it's the other way around when there's no risk on, right? So that's a positive sign to be looking for as well. But SPY gunning for it here. New high of the day, 407.39. Again, no resistance until 419.96, looking real good. Tesla, next resistance on deck is at 303.65. After that, we're looking at 314.67. But again, we haven't changed the daily trend yet. This move's all coming off the low. We were in a daily downtrend with the high, low, lower high, and lower low. We had another mini lower high and lower low, another mini lower high and lower low, but essentially a double bottom. So we had 266.15 as support, and we hit 265.74. So pretty much a double bottom there, but we will expect a pullback at some point soon where we top out, we get our low, the high, and then we scout the higher low and the higher high. We need to confirm a daily uptrend to be confident that our weekly higher low is set. Right now, the weekly bounce is underway. The odds of the bottom being in look really, really good. But again, we need to confirm that daily uptrend, and we could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross here on Tesla, insinuating more upside. And then after 314.67, we have nothing until about 364.07, and then it's the all-time high, 414.50. So again, what did I say? I said I didn't expect the bottom in the broader market to be set until we saw the EMA 12 and 26 bear cross on Tesla. What happened? We had the bear cross, then we went straight into 3 days of consecutive daily bounce. So it's exactly what I was expecting, right? Again, the market's been so predictable. I think a lot of people probably think I can see the future, but again, it's just probabilities and knowing, having 5 years of studying this, 200 hours a month, really studying this for the last 5 years, maybe 6 years. But, I've been studying financial markets for almost 15 years, heavily invested into crypto and MJ and really focusing on the charts over the last 5 years. And, after 2-3 years, it finally just started to click, right? And then, now I would consider myself an intermediate. But, it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at anything. VEGA, SPCE, and BLU leading the decline today. On the bull list, we have MVMD, CWeb, and AMC. So our meme names, GME also up over double digits today. CWeb having a good day, up about 13%. Taking a look at the American-Canadian MJ. We'll take a look at Canadian here first. So on the bull list, we have NXTTF, FAF, and VLNS, followed by Hexo. On the bear list, we have XTRX, PCLO, and that is it. But HMMJ starting the daily bounce again today for the second day in a row. We're still in a daily downtrend. Anything under 766, that double top there, is a potential daily lower high. So once we do top out on this daily bounce, we'll scout a higher low and higher high, confirm the daily uptrend. We zoom out to the weekly. We watch for the weekly bounce to get underway, and then we do the same there, right? We're still in a weekly daily downtrend and monthly downtrend. So HMMJ, Canadian MJ, is a lot weaker comparatively to our US counterpart and peers. Case in point, MSOS is in a daily downtrend here. We had the high, low, lower high, and lower low. So once we lost 1243, we confirmed the daily downtrend. Anything under 1320 is just a daily lower high. So again, once we top out here on this daily bounce, we need to form a higher low, higher high. Then we'll be back into a daily and weekly uptrend. So as long as 1096 holds, we're still in a weekly uptrend on MSOS. Key resistance to breaks 1382. After that, about 15 psychological. Also lining up with EMA 26 there on the weekly time frame. Monthly bounce is getting underway. But now we need, once we confirm the daily uptrend again, we'll be in a daily and weekly uptrend, but then we need to confirm a monthly uptrend. Once we set the monthly uptrend and we confirm it, then we can be confident that the bear market bottom is in, and we're likely entering a new multi-year bull market, in my opinion, based on the size of the pullback over the last couple of years. What did I say at the beginning of the stream? The greater the suppression, the bigger the expansion. And look at how great this suppression has been, right? So that only means that we could potentially see an even greater expansion. And then we'll look for that higher low, higher high. Need to have that. On the bull and bear list, TAUG, Ian, and CWeb leading the bull list. So again, USMJ very strong comparatively. KGKG, Acreage, and Cureleaf leading the decline today. But MSOS, this is a prime example, right? What we want to see. We want to see old resistance. The 10-week moving average was resistance, resistance, resistance. We got above it here, but what was the difference here? We were still in a weekly downtrend. We didn't confirm a weekly uptrend. We looked for that higher low, and then we broke to a lower low. We failed. Then we came back, resistance, 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 came back below, confirmed the weekly uptrend. Now we're back testing old resistance as new support while still in a weekly uptrend with the MACD and stochastic going parabolic, super bullish. This is looking really good, folks. I think $20 is in the cards here pretty soon on MSOS. Checking in on the POW Group community. Nothing too earth-shattering in terms of news developments since the stream started. But this is going to be an important weekly candle close as well. And if we can close over the high of last week at 405.84, that's going to be bullish. And we could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross on the S&P 500 as well. So what I want to see here in about 11 minutes, I want to see a close over 405.84 to remain bullish on the S&P 500. All right. Have a great night. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend ahead. Going to end it there. May make this video public just because it is important. So if you are viewing this after the fact, and I do decide to make it public, if you could smash the like, share the video with anybody that might find value, subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. And just as a reminder, I will be on vacation. Might get another update out for private POW Group members on Monday. But essentially, we'll be back into my regular routine in about a week and a half. All right, take care, everybody. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rob with POW Group. Have a fantastic weekend ahead. We'll see you on the next video.